findings of our own research as well, we can compare and contrast our findings with uh, previous research findings. Simply, after analyzing data, we can actually identify major findings of our research, main results of our research, right? First, we can present them. At the same time, we can compare our research findings with previous findings. That means you have already done the literature review chapter, and you can use your literature review again for completing chapter to complete chapter 5. As well, you can refer new sources to find some findings, whether your findings are similar to their findings, because definitely you have to refer the articles which are similar to your research topic, right? Otherwise, we can't make the comparison. And you can actually check whether your findings are similar to the previous research findings or contradict with previous research findings, right? Since we have limited word count, we have to we can actually use 2-3 sources to make the comparison for one particular dimension, right? If there are 5 dimensions, based on them you develop the objectives. So you can discuss your findings under each dimension. If not, you can bring your objectives for the discussion, right? Your independent variable and dependent variable can be used for this discussion. Also, we analyzed personal details of respondents in chapter 4. So we can discuss about personal details of our sample profile as well, right? But we do not use the numbers, percentages, statistics for our discussion. If you need, you can use major statistics, only the major statistic, major percentages, right? No need to bring all the numbers from chapter 4 for the discussion, because in chapter 4 we did a detailed analysis. We presented data using those numbers, we interpreted them, we analyzed them, right? So we do not make the same here. We can use major statistics or numbers, if not percentages, for this discussion part, and accordingly can complete the discussion of our research findings with others' research findings, right? Can provide a brief introduction like this, and then you can discuss the general information or personal details first, right? Don't use all the numbers and percentage values in these personal questions, right? You did it in the chapter 4, but here major values can be used for the discussion part. It should be a summary actually, right? Don't waste words for the discussion of general information. You can use a small paragraph for the discussion of general information or personal details. And then, as I said, then you can start to discuss your findings based on each dimension. If not, you can use both the independent and dependent variable. That means the dimension of the independent variable and the dependent variable. In this example, my first dimension is base pay and dependent variable is job satisfaction. So using these two variables, dimension and the dependent variable, I presented the findings of my work, right? So first, remember, first we have to present the findings of our research, right? Then we start to make the comparison, right? You can read this paragraph, right? You can read it, but don't use the same wordings. You can write, you can change writing style, right? The presentation of this, right? If not, actually, it will be plagiarized. If you all write this in the same way, it will be plagiarized. So it is a disadvantage for you. By referring this example, you can develop the discussion part, right? Here, I use major statistics to give the main findings on impact of base pay on job satisfaction first. And then in the second paragraph, I compared my research findings with previous research findings, which are similar to my topic, right? So here I was able to identify some similar findings as well contradictory findings. We can discuss all here. Right? Remember, I asked you to use 2, 3 sources to make comparison, but in this example, you can see a lot of sources. Actually, in this work, uh, I didn't have a problem with word count. Therefore, I compared the findings with previous articles. I use a lot of articles for the comparison for one dimension. But you have to limit it, right? Maximum 4 are enough for one particular dimension. And after presenting findings of your research, you can compare your findings like that, right? So you can actually get the idea of presenting this part, the discussion part, using this example. Uh, this is the way we complete the discussion chapter. If you have 4 dimensions, you can bring all 4 for the discussion separately. Finally, you can give the discussion for your major objective, your main independent variable and dependent variable. Say, for example, this research topic is about impact of rewards on job satisfaction, right? So after the discussion of individual variable, if not dimension and the dependent variable, you can use your main variables for the discussion impact of rewards on job satisfaction according to this example. Finally, chapter summary can be given, right? Simply in the discussion chapter, we have to cover all the dimensions and our main research variables, right? This is chapter 5.